Hello everybody, my name is James Guys, and today I will be talking to you about diabetes. Now, first of all, the problem about diabetes is that it exists in society because, well, we all love to eat, especially those carbohydrates. I know I do. Now, in those carbohydrates and all the other food, there's sugar molecules inside, and when we consume those sugar molecules, we need insulin, which is produced in our pancreas to break down the sugar molecules and to use it as energy for our muscles. Now, how diabetes happens, there's about 3 different kinds: type 1, type 2, and gestational diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is very rare. Only about 5% of the people who have diabetes have that particular type. And what happens is that the immune system is attacking the insulin producing cells. We also call them the islet cells, and eventually the body stops making insulin. Now, for type 2, what happens is the body isn't using the insulin correctly and ends up becoming insulin resistant. And what happens is the type 2 diabetes, they're usually older people, usually 40 years and older, while type 1 is usually the younger crowd. And gestational diabetes occurs within a pregnant woman. It's when they have never had diabetes their whole life and they only experience it when they're pregnant and during their pregnancy when they get high blood sugar and all that. Now, where does it happen? There's food just about anywhere in the world, so you could say that it occurs everywhere worldwide. There's a map on the right showing you just about all the places: North America, South and Central America, Middle East, Europe, all that good stuff. Next, to be continued of the public health problem, there's there's a future risk for the community, and there's been a strong increase in correlation to diabetes, which is connected to smoking and during pregnancy, like I said previously before. Now, some other etiological factors include family history, because diabetes can be passed on. It runs in the family. You want to be exercising a lot, so there's a lack of exercise, not eating healthy, becoming overweight. Those are all factors. And one other factor, which is usually 40 years and up, because that's the most common type of diabetes, which is type 2 diabetes. Now, next, how to solve the public health problem. There's 2 strategies. First one, well, there's no cure of diabetes yet, hopefully in the near future. But strategy 2 is prevention. We can always prevent it. Now, you want to lower your risk for getting diabetes. You want to have a meal plan. You want to exercise daily or weekly. You want to maintain your weight and maintain your blood sugar levels, as well as taking any medication or injections to prescribed by the doctor to maintain your sugar levels. And you also do not want to smoke, because that is also correlated to getting diabetes. Next, how to solve the public health problem. Also continued. So far, an example, the ADA, the American Diabetes Association, has already screened people in the US, about 30 million people alone. So that is great to hear. Another example is that the state of California have already spent $27.6 billion for treating diabetes last year. Now, next, the public health in the future. What does literature say we should do? Well, they all say the same thing. We need to further our research on islet cells, which is the insulin cells producing cells. We also need to further studies on immunology and take further approaches through different aspects to take a look at diabetes and the study of it, why everything happens the way it does. Now, next, another example, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, they've already been focusing on studies and research for a long time now. Trying to get diabetes, the same thing, the research, all of that. They want, because their goal is to help communities in the US that are suffering from large cases of diabetes. Now, in my opinion, I think that more people need to get screened and diagnosed for diabetes. I also think that people need to focus on the key factors about diabetes, which is, prevention and treatment, how to treat all of that. The earlier you know, the better. That's why people need to have get screened for everything. We need to show more commercials, advertisements about and information about diabetes, even taxing sugary drinks and foods. That will help a lot. Now, last of all, here's my reference slide, and thank you all for listening.